Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillahi wa kafa, wa salamun ala ibadihi alladhina istafa, khususan ala sayyidil awwalina wal akhirina wa khatamin nabiyyina wal mursalin, sayyidina wa nabiyyina wa Maulana Mohammed wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa baraka wa sallama تسليما كثيرا كثيرا. أما بعد رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. يا رب صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. My respected elders, young brothers, and my mothers, I have been shedding light on those actions, those righteous deeds which become source and means of one's good ending, of one's husn khatima, meaning he leaves this dunya with iman. In my last week's sermon I was talking and I was mentioning company of the righteous people is such that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Hadith al-Qudsi, those who will sit and who will accompany my righteous slaves, I will bless them with what I will bless my righteous people. And I mentioned in my last week's talk that Allama ibn Hajar rahmatullahi says, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He blesses His righteous people with many spiritual blessings. But the greatest blessing is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes them from this dunya with iman. So those very people who will sit with them and who will love them, they will also be blessed with this. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will protect their iman, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will let them leave this dunya with iman. Our Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he used to make this dua, and he taught us this dua, that we should always make this dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allahumma inni as'aluka hubbak wa hubba man yuhibbuk wa hubba amalin yuqarribu ila hubbik. That, oh Allah, I ask you to grant me your love. And oh Allah, I ask you to grant me the love of one who loves you. And oh Allah, let me have love of such an act that will bring me close to you. So in my last week's sermon, this was the topic I shed light. Today, I will mention another act, a righteous deed, a sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, a very little sunnah, and we do not even pay any heed or attention to this sunnah, considering it as a very minor act, a very minor sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and that is using Miswak before the prayer. When we make wudu, along with wudu, we use the Miswak. Our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he says, through Miswak you will cleanse your teeth, and this Miswak will become cause of Allah's pleasure in this dunya and hereafter. Imam al-Munzari rahimahullah, he says, oh, what can be greater excellence in Miswak other than that it was the beloved practice, noble practice of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And did you know the very last amal of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam of this dunya was to use the miswak. While our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was on bed of death, and Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha had his blessed head on her lap, and she mentions my brother Abdul Rahman entered the room, and he had a very fresh miswak in his hand, and Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was looking at it, and I sensed it that he wants to use the miswak. So I said to my brother, hand it over to me, give it to me. He gave it to me, and I chewed it, made it soft, and then Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he used the miswak. This was the very last amr of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the hadith of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the four things that are the sunnat of all the prophets. Four amals are the sunnat, a practice of every prophet, including our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, from Adam till our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Every prophet, it was his noble practice to marry. Nikah was the sunnah of every prophet. Using itar, applying itar on the body, on your clothes, it was the sunnah of every prophet. And circumcision was the practice of every prophet. And using the miswak was the sunnah of every prophet. Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, she says that Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, in the miswak there is cure from every disease, from every illness except maut. And Hazrat Abdullah bin Abbas radiallahu ta'ala anhu and Hazrat Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu, they have mentioned 36 benefits of miswak. They have mentioned 36 benefits of miswak. One of them is, they say, when a person uses miswak, at the time of death, the angels who come to take the ruh, Israel alayhi salatu wasalam, along with him, many other hundreds of angels accompany him, they come in the form of that very form in which they come to the prophets. And they come and they take the ruh of this person who used to use miswak. And one of the worldly and our physical benefit in it is that the Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha says that the one who will regularly use the miswak, he will remain safe, guarded from the headache. And when a person uses the miswak, the angels, when he leaves his home and he sets for the masjid, while he's coming, they're walking behind him and they continue making dua of forgiveness for this person. The angels are innocent and their duas are accepted. Your dua may be rejected because of some sense may become barrier between our dua and Allah's rahmat sometimes. But still we should have a hope that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will accept my dua. Our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, you should be certain when you make a dua, have a belief that my dua will be accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Abdullah ibn Abbas radiallahu ta'ala anhu, and they have mentioned, as I said, 36. They say one of them is, this person when he dies, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protects his iman, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala lets him leave this dunya with iman. Now my respected elders, just imagine this amal of miswak today, we might consider it as a very little amal. In this day and age, what we do, we distinguish between minor and major sin. Minor deed and major deed. We say this is a minor one, this is a small one, this is a big one, I should go for a big one. This is a minor sin, I shouldn't, there's no problem, doing it because it's minor. Remember, masiyat, disobedience is disobedience. Whether you call it a minor or major. And good deed is good deed, whether you call it a minor one or a major one. Good deed is good deed. So don't say this is this belongs to a lower class and this belongs to a higher class. Every deed is a deed, and you never know which deed could become the pleasure, cause and source of Allah's pleasure. And when we look at the history, we find so many pious, when they passed away, and someone saw them dream and asked, how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive you, how Allah treated you. You know what they said? They were so great, scholars, and they had done so much of the work of the deen, and besides that they were so, great worshippers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When they mentioned that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala upon this deed, Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani rahmatullah alayhi, how great alim he was and a pious person he was. He was passed away, when somebody asked him how Allah treated, you know what he said? He said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala only and only forgave me upon my 2 rakats of tahajjud. And I would ask you to stand up for this service.